Hey there. Today I want to talk a little bit about uniqueness and what makes you unique. Um, so often we are taught about conforming and fitting into the box, and most of us, some of us do fit into boxes, but there's almost no box that fits anybody perfectly. And so I was having a conversation with someone, and we were just trying to hone in on what makes their business unique in order to set themselves apart from from similar businesses. And I've had this conversation many times before where I make suggestions and and they're different. They are definitely things that would set you apart from your competition. Usually it's in tone, because a lot of the writing that I used to do is business to business. Business to business websites tend to be pretty boring, because I think people forget that there aren't other companies reading this website. It's not like this corporate entity is reading another corporate entity's site. It is a human being reading another human being's site. And human beings are emotional, like social creatures, and we make decisions based on we make decisions based on how we feel about things, and then we justify them. I mean, we all do it. Even when we think we're being perfectly logical, that's because our brain is like, yes, I made this logical argument. I did not let my emotions cloud my superior intellect. And our brain tells us that, and we're like, yes, of course, because we're so smart and logical. And of course, that's the way it goes. But our brains are like, we're not as in control of our brains as we think we are. So what happens is people look around and see what everybody else is doing, and they're like, oh, but everybody else's website says this and does this. And so then they want to set themselves apart, but then they choose to be exactly like everybody else. And we do this with ourselves as well. So whether you're looking to start a new business, or you're looking to change careers, or you're looking to just change jobs within your career, what can you do to set yourself apart? What makes you you? Because ultimately, that's what matters. And that's where you're going to find the most happiness, is where people accept you for being gloriously you, and nobody else can be you. And I have experienced this myself, and I know a lot of people do when they look to go into a field or into starting something where other people are already doing it and are already experts, or maybe just have a lot more time or perceived experience. And so they're like, oh, well, I can't do that thing because someone else is already doing it. Someone is doing it better. Someone, like there's nothing that I can add. And you can always add. You can always add, because you never know who you're going to reach at the right time. And here's a great example. I know from a bajillion people telling me, and just general knowledge, that I should exercise regularly. I've heard it lots of times. It's not uncommon knowledge, but do I do it? No. But what got me to start, at least for a little while till I gave it up, was hearing someone say that by making themselves exercise every day, they were just kind of training themselves to do things that they didn't really like but knew they needed to do. And I was like, oh, well, that resonates with me. And then the next morning I took a walk, and I kept it up for a little while. That is not a thing that I am super committed to, so I have let it slack since then. But it's not like that person said anything that I hadn't already heard before. Just said it in a way that clicked for me and made me want to take action. And so that is the same for all of us. We can hear different messages, but if they're not right for us, or they're not right for us right now, or they're not coming from someone who makes sense to us, then it doesn't matter how many people are saying it. When the time is right and it's the right person and it's the right message, then it clicks. And you never know who that's going to be for anybody that you are reaching out to. And so I am particularly thinking in these conversations about if you're looking to start something and what it is that you want to start and what is it about you that that makes you a unique voice in the situation that you want to put yourself in. But also, if you are looking for another job, especially if you're looking for a place that really fits with you, I encourage you to show that personality and show that when you're interviewing and when you're searching, and to let yourself be seen for who you are, because we tend to put on these like masks at work and these, personas, and some of that is okay. I mean, we obviously, there's just some social norms, but when we cover ourselves up too much or we mask ourselves too much, then we can get stuck in a situation where we don't really fit, and then we're never going to be happy. If you can go in being more fully yourself, and you click and they click and everybody clicks, then you've already gotten over such a big hurdle in feeling that excitement and drive and connection with the place that you have to be so many hours of the day. So, and there are different ways to do that. You can do that in your language, that's in your resume, just by restructuring your resume. Resumes are terrible. Or in your cover letter, or in your outreach, and your in your interviewing. You can do that. You can do that if you're interviewing people. Just ask better questions. Geez. To get to know the people who are, you're looking to bring onto your organization. I mean, that's a whole different, the hiring process and the interview process. That's its own little web of bullshit. But yeah, so really, what I was thinking about today, because of this conversation that I've had, is think about what it is that makes you really you, and that you bring to the table, because we all bring something to the table. And if you don't know what you bring to the table, find a friend and ask, because they'll tell you, because you bring something. You probably bring lots of somethings, I guarantee it. And we very often don't see the best things in ourselves, or the things that we kind of look down on other people might admire us for. So so if you're looking for a homework assignment and if you can't think of anything on your own that you are awesome at, and if you can, I'd love to hear about it. But if you can't, reach out to a friend and see what she says that she admires about you or thinks that you're excellent at, and then post that, because that would be awesome too. You can email me at kristen@weirdlywiredwomen.com, or post it in the comments, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, just those two. And you can like and subscribe and share.